Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Zio here, back for another episode of the Turnbuckle. Now then, let's start off with the previous week's Monday Night Raw from February 19th. Let's see. Match 1 of the night was Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. Due to some bloodline interference, Drew McIntyre picked up the win. It was an A+ match. It shows that, that, Cody Rhodes is really messing with the Bloodline's business, and that the Bloodline should not be taken lightly on them. Next match of the night was a last chance battle royale for the Women's Elimination Chamber match. The winner of that match was a returning Raquel Rodriguez. It was an S tier of a match. Oh, forgot to mention, Drew McIntyre's match was an A+. Third match of that night was an 8-man tag team match with Awesome Truth and DIY taking on the Judgment Day. This match was amazing start to finish. It was an S tier of a match. Judgment Day got the win over them. Then we had Chad Gable versus Ivar, seemingly concluding the rivalry between Alpha Academy and Ivar, with Chad Gable picking up the win after a hard-fought victory. That was an A+ match. Then we had the main event of Monday Night Raw from February 19th was the Intercontinental Championship match between Jey Uso and Gunther. Now, I'm going to talk about this match because earlier in the night, we did have bloodline interference, and it happened again. When Jey Uso seemingly had to win, his brother Jimmy rang the bell prematurely, causing enough of a distraction for Gunther to pick up the win. And it looks like they're really setting up the brother versus brother match at WrestleMania 40. Some extra notes. Let's see. We got another vignette, or vignette, whatever it's called, of Andrade. Can't wait to see him in action. We also got a Sami Zayn segment. Becky Lynch came out. She was interrupted by Liv Morgan, who was then interrupted by Raquel Rodriguez, who was then interrupted by Naomi, then by Tiffany Stratton, before Bianca Belair came out. A brawl broke out with Nia Jax taking everyone out. We got a backstage segment with the New Day talking about Imperium and their beef with them. The main event ended, like I said, with Jimmy Uso ringing the bell early, costing Jey the IC title. Can't wait to see that brother versus brother match. The Elimination Chamber go-home show for SmackDown on 2/23. This got an A- of a grade. The first match of the night was Tiffany Stratton versus Liv Morgan. Tiffany Stratton won. It was a B+. It was a B match. We had Braun Breaker's SmackDown debut, but it was just a squash match between him and Dante Chen, nobody on the NXT roster, pretty much. That got to see. I don't really like squash matches that much, especially when it's a new character taking the show on the main show. If you're gonna be pushing him, I'd rather you push him against the more heavier duty guys first to show how dominant of a force he can be. Next match was a tag team match between Judgment Day, JD McDonough and Dirty Dominic Mysterio taking on New Catch Republic, which is Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne's team name. New Catch Republic won. That was an A+ of a match. Another tag team match right after that. Woo! was the Street Profits versus Authors of Pain. The Authors of Pain really showed their dominance here, winning the match. It was an A+ of a match. Then we had the main event, which was Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight. Drew McIntyre won once again due to interference, this time through a DQ. I believe that was due to... I do not remember, but I know he was disqualified. That LA Knight was disqualified. Next we have Elimination Chamber. This, some people say, wasn't the best pay-per-view, however, I beg to differ. Starting off the kickoff show, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match. The Kabuki Warriors taking on Candice LeRae and an Aussie hometown hero, Indy Hartwell. The Kabuki Warriors got the win. It was a B+ match. It wasn't really that entertaining, I would say. Then again, you know, that it did start at 2 in the morning over here, so... So I was kind of tired, so I could have been me being grumpy from not having much sleep. Then we had the first match of the Elimination Chamber being the Women's Elimination Chamber match between Bianca Belair, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Becky Lynch. Our first elimination, before I announce the winner, I will say in order who was eliminated. First was Naomi. Second was Tiffany Stratton. Third was Raquel Rodriguez. Fourth was Bianca Belair. The runner-up was Liv Morgan, with Becky Lynch getting the win. An S tier of a match. Hard-fought victory for Becky Lynch, who will now be facing Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Oh, I just gave a spoiler for there. Next match of the night was the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match between New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, taking on Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Through some more antics with the other Judgment Day members, Judgment Day did take the win, A+ of the match. Then we had the Men's Elimination Chamber match with Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, and Logan Paul. Our first elimination of the night was Bobby Lashley. Second was LA Knight, and here's the elimination with LA Knight. I have beef with it. Everyone wants him to fight Logan Paul at WrestleMania for the United States title. I don't think they're going in that direction now, because LA Knight was eliminated due to interference from the outside of the chamber, with AJ Styles coming into the chamber and beating him senseless with a steel chair before hitting the Styles Clash on LA Knight onto said steel chair. So, Drew got the pin on LA Knight for that. Kevin Owens was the third elimination, being hit with an RKO out of nowhere. Then Logan Paul was also eliminated. Logan Paul went to take out some brass knuckles. He snuck in somehow into the chamber, but before he could get a hit off, Randy Orton came out of nowhere again, hitting another RKO, a fantastic one, pinning Logan Paul. Randy Orton was the last one eliminated. He was the runner-up, and this was due to Logan Paul once again getting in the way, hitting Randy Orton with the brass knuckles after Randy had hit Drew McIntyre with a fierce RKO. This led to Drew McIntyre pinning Randy Orton and winning the match. This was an S+ of a match. It was hard-hitting back and forth. I believe Bobby Lashley speared 2 people. Yeah, Bobby Lashley, he speared 2 people through the pods. Kevin Owens just beat the crap out of Logan Paul as soon as he was let out of the pod. Just hard-hitting action all the way around. The main event of the night was the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. With Nia Jax being the underdog in this card for once. It was a hard-hitting match, and all in all, Rhea Ripley, like I called it, I knew that they were either going to have her drop her title at Mania or at Elimination Chamber. Luckily, she did not drop it this time. She is still your Women's World Heavyweight Championship with an S tier match. Some extra notes. We had a Grayson Waller effect. We had Austin Theory announcing Grayson Waller coming out. His guests on the show were Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. They hinted at a tag match between Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman. However, Cody would then change it and say that from now until WrestleMania, he has his schedule is wide open, so he wants to challenge The Rock. So, seeing where that goes. They then took out Austin Theory as Waller watched on, clearly not wanting any of it. Seth would hit a curb stomp showing how he's nearly medically cleared. We then got a quick segment of Triple H, who won Booker of the Year in 2023, just slightly beating Tony Khan. So, take that, AEW. Moving on to this past Monday, 2/26. The first match of the night was Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. An A+ of a match, Sami Zayn getting that well-deserved win. Then the next match of the night was Chelsea Green taking on Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez once again showing her absolute dominance in the ring, although kind of a slow match, a B+. Next we had a New Day versus Imperium street fight. Imperium got the win, hard-hitting match. Some really tough spots in there. It was an A+. Next we had Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell taking on Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, with Stark and Baszler getting the win, another B match. Next we had a squash, Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Nia Jax ended up winning due to a disqualification from Becky Lynch attacking her, B-. The main event was Grayson Waller taking on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes obviously still building momentum towards WrestleMania. It was an A match, Cody Rhodes being the winner. Monday Night Raw got an A. Some extra notes. Dirty Dom started the show to introduce, as he says, Mommy Ripley, but both were interrupted by Becky Lynch to address Ripley, her WrestleMania 40 opponent. Drew McIntyre afterwards came out to address himself, winning the Elimination Chamber match and now going to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins. Seth came out to address Drew and their match. Paul Heyman ended the show coming out after Cody's match to confront him. However, Cody was not having any of it. Even with bodyguards surrounding Paul Heyman, there are no match against the American Nightmare, who had a steel chair in hand, clearly showing that he is no longer the prey, he is now the predator, and he is hunting the bloodline. So that was Monday Night Raw. Going on to last night's SmackDown, an A show. Match 1 was Tiffany Stratton taking on Naomi, with Tiffany Stratton once again getting the win. That was a B+ match. This one, the next match was Bayley and returning Dakota Kai taking on the Kabuki Warriors. Bayley won via disqualification. And notice I didn't say Bayley and Dakota Kai. That is because we finally found out that Bayley is going in alone at WrestleMania 40 to take on Io Sky, as Dakota Kai has sealed her place within the Damage Control. Next was another squash match between Braun Breaker and another NXT rookie, Zion Quinn. So, again, C. Don't like squash matches much. Next you had a street fight between Carlito and Santos Escobar. Carlito got the win. That was an S tier match, and I'll explain right now why that is. During the match, Legado del Fantasma had some help from with themselves and couldn't help themselves from getting involved. However, things would be evened out when things were looking grim, when a returning Rey Mysterio came out. People, it looked like he was still not medically cleared, however, he was in fact the opposite. He used the crutches as bait, with Humberto and Angel falling for the bait, getting pummeled in the process before headset died. Before getting into the ring with Santos Escobar, talking down to him, or as I actually should say, talking up to him because he's short. Before hitting 619 after Carlito had spit in his face with an apple. You know, Escobar wasn't cool enough, so Carlito had to do it to him. Before Carlito would hit, after the 619 would then hit a spine buster through the table, getting the 1-2-3. So, the main event with special guest commentator Kevin Owens was Randy Orton versus Austin Theory. This match came about from a locker room segment where Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were watching the clip of Logan Paul punch Randy Orton in the Elimination Chamber with the brass knuckles. Randy Orton would laugh with them before challenging one of the two to a match in the main event. And Grayson Waller would volunteer Austin Theory. It looks like they might be turning Austin Theory babyface, with Grayson being the heel and being the reason for that. Don't know how long that's going to take them, but it'll be interesting. So, extra notes. The Bloodline started out the show to address what Rollins and Cody said at Elimination Chamber. Roman and pals were gonna leave the ring, however, Paul Heyman was the one to stop them because, surprise, surprise, The Rock came out right after commercial break. The Rock said no to a 1v1 against Cody Rhodes. The Rock said the Bloodline had a counteroffer, a tag team match night 1 of WrestleMania 40, stating that if the Bloodline loses, they will be barred from ringside on night 2 so Cody can finish the story. But if they win on night 2, then on night 2, Cody's match will be Bloodline rules, which pretty much anything goes. The Rock said he would personally see to it that Cody does not win. So night 1 will be Seth and Cody versus Roman and Rock. Before The Rock could say his iconic ending line, Roman stopped him, which was a bold move, I would say. And pretty much it looked like he forced The Rock to acknowledge him. It looked like The Rock did not want to. Then we got that locker room segment with LA Knight, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and Randy Orton. LA Knight was looking for AJ Styles, while their latter were reacting to Logan Paul knocking out Randy Orton with brass knuckles. This led to Waller, as I said, throwing Theory under the bus to fight Orton later on in the night. And yeah. So SmackDown was an A, and that's all for wrestling news. I still got to put out, though, in this time of need, send all your love and support to Ms. Maurice. Maurice has a rare form of cancer that she is going through. I wish her the best of luck, and that she hopefully pulls through. Until next time, guys, always kick out before the 3 count.